Hi, it's Delusion Dispeller. Welcome to the one insidious addiction, people addiction, taken from the book by Howard L. Halpern, How to Break Your Addiction to a Person, and copyright 1995. It's really windy here, really windy. I might have to go in the shed and do this. Hold on. Wow. Alright, I didn't realize it was going to be quite that noisy. Yeah, my hair is all blowing all over too. Alright, let's go in the house and do this. Alright, that's better. Yeah, my hair is something else today. Alright, I'm going to turn the light on so y'all can see me. Alright, there we go. Wow, that was really a wind. Okay, so we're going to be talking about the emotional roller coaster of people addiction today. The kind of emotional roller coaster we're talking about is common in troubled love relationships. Positive emotions like joy, trust, and love can flip-flop back and forth very quickly with disturbing emotions like depression, anxiety, jealousy, hatred, even rage sometimes. Very common in a troubled relationship. When these feelings are so extreme and change so much, that is almost a certain sign that you have some attachment hunger going on and it's not healthy. So let's see what we're talking about here. The first one we're going to talk about is love versus hate. So we're talking about this guy named Bob. He wants to get together with Phyllis and work things out. He's questioning a lot about how he treated her. And he's talking to his friend. He's like, I want to give her a second chance. I want to make things up to her. And, I want to work this out. And his friend says, but what if she doesn't want you? And he said, then I'll kill her. Basically. So, yeah. And that was a nervous laugh, like, ow, yipes, you're really addicted to this person. So very quickly he went from love to murderous hate just by thinking of not getting what he wanted, which was Phyllis. Attachment hunger was in operation here. So what happens is an infantile situation. Again, when that baby does not get its needs met or has the attention need and that mom does not come running or caregiver does not give the care, that baby is furious and that attachment hunger is at play here. So Bob doesn't really see Phyllis at that moment as a separate individual. He sees her as an extension of what he wants. And he is angry because she is not complying with what he wants. That's one reason why we have that problem of staying attached in unhealthy relationships. All right. Second reason is the attachment hunger that happens when somebody feels inadequate in themselves. I talk to so many people about this, and honestly, in my coaching days, and even now when I talk to people, I explain to them that your completion has to come from within. It can't come from another person. That's why I don't get super hung up on what people are saying about me in text and stuff like that, because I know I am complete in myself and in God. It doesn't matter that another person doesn't like me. But with someone with attachment hunger problems, they are unhappy unless that significant other is talking to them, giving them attention. They become very dependent on the other person to give them that sense of adequacy. I almost said inadequacy. To give them the sense of adequacy, completion, security, and inner peace. And if that's what's going on with you, then you're placing a lot of power over your own emotions in someone else's hands. Now, if you feel like this person is using that power that you put there to control you, that's even worse, because that's exploitation and it's not healthy at all. So you may be also subconsciously envious of that person. Maybe they are outgoing and you are an introvert. And you look at them and you think, man, I need them because, if I get into this situation where a bunch of people are in public and I want to talk to them, well, he was always the strong one and now he's not here. So what do I do with myself, So you may become angry that they left you because now your safe person that spoke for you, because you're not an outgoing person who speaks for yourself, is now missing. So you feel lost, but you feel resentful as well. There's also a third reason that you can shift so quickly between that love and hate thing in your relationship. And that is you split. Now, what do I mean by splitting? You've probably heard this floating around the internet, probably on the narcissism channels. When you are a child and mother comes running to you with a bottle or with her chest, if you are breastfeeding, you have that sense of bliss and oneness with mom. What if mom is on the phone or mom is busy or mom forgets it's feeding time? Then mom is not that caregiver, that nurturer that you come to expect to run to your beck and call. So in your mind, you often split. Bad mommy, good mommy. Well, in relationships, same thing. We tend to split people sometimes. Good boyfriend, bad boyfriend. Good husband, bad husband. Especially people with certain disorders, like borderline is very known for splitting like that. Sometimes narcissists will do that with people. So they have a hard time realizing that even though maybe you didn't do what they wanted you to do this time, doesn't mean you never will again, but it feels so permanent to them. So Dan, who was going through this situation with his wife, wanted to kill the witch. She was just not doing what he wanted her to do. And he was like, I just want to kill her. I just want to be done with her. But what he forgot was just because she wasn't doing what he wanted her to do at that moment doesn't mean that eventually she wouldn't be that loving person meeting his needs again. Dan was experiencing attachment hunger from his mom, who wasn't always there when he needed her. So Dan would have to find a way to come to terms with this type of situation. So this counselor, brilliant man that he is, picked up a block, a colored block, and he was showing Dan the block, and he said, what colors are these? And he named each color, and he showed him the color blue on one side of the block. Now Dan knew that there were colors on all sides of the block, a different color on each side of the block. And he said, okay, now you can see only blue, so why not call it just a blue block? And Dan said, well, because there's red on the other side, and there's yellow, and there's white, there's different colors all over the block. So the wise counselor said, so it's a block of many colors, and right now the blue face is toward you. And Dan said, yes. And he said, and your mother has many faces too. Sometimes the smiling face is toward you, sometimes the angry face, but they're all parts of the same mother. You get the suggestion? So basically we need to realize that just because somebody is acting one way one time doesn't mean they're not going to, have that other facet of the block, so to speak. Now, we're not talking about narcissistic abusers here. We're talking about normal people that go through normal moods and just can't always be everything you want them to be and be there for you and whatever. Narcissists are a whole different discussion. You'll have to watch my other videos for those. So basically what I'm telling you is this sort of love-hate thing that goes on, this attachment but yet resenting the person for causing us, quote-unquote, causing us to attach to them, is unhealthy. It's a love versus hate type of situation. And now you know a little bit more about what causes this and provokes it. So you may feel like you need to end something with somebody. You're thinking they're a loser, you can't stand them. But then in the next minute, you're feeling guilty because of all the times that they were there for you. But it's not healthy and you need to end it. So why are you not ending it? Because you go through this flip-floppy thing of, well, they're my best friend. Remember how we shared this memory. Remember how they were there for me during my sickness. We forget the fact that they just gave us a black eye, or held us in a chokehold, or embarrassed us in front of our friends. We kind of paint them in this all good type of situation so that we don't have to face the fact that we are going to have to let go. We're going to have to embrace that pain of loss and move past it. So we go through swings and feelings from love to hatred and anger. And that is our attachment hunger level being activated. We keep trying to maintain relationships without accepting that other person's complexity. And sometimes when we shouldn't accept their complexity, we stay with them. Because there is a difference between complexity in a person and abuse. So you need to look within yourself, Figure out which one it is. Are you in an abusive relationship? Are you in a relationship where somebody else is always telling you what to do and making you feel guilty if you don't do it? Or maybe they're saying they're going to do something and they never follow through on it. You know what abuse looks like if you've been watching any of my other videos. You need now to figure out what is best for you by calling upon God or the wisdom inside of you, whatever you call upon. I suggest God, because he's not going to steer you wrong. And figure out which one it is. And figure out if you are using that attachment hunger to try to stay somewhere with the person that's not ever going to meet your needs, that mommy never met for you or caregiver never met for you, because this person will never meet them for you either. This is why we tell people that are looking to date, take time, get to know yourself, figure out what you like, what you don't like, who you are. Love yourself first. You can never truly love another person unless you have that inner sense of self and security. So, in the next part of this series, we're going to be talking about trust versus jealousy. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. God bless. Bye.